Hey guys, Ambience here. Today I'm going to be showing you how to beat the Double Trouble preset on the custom night of Five Nights at Freddy's 2, so let's go ahead and take a look at this real quick. Alright, so Bonnie is set to 20, Toy Bonnie is set to 20, and Foxy is set to 5. Everyone else is set to 0, except of course for the puppet, who is always active no matter what. So I think this is going to be a pretty straightforward challenge, just Bonnie and Toy Bonnie are obviously the main ones that we have to deal with, and then Foxy's going to be a little bit aggressive also, since he has his AI set to 5. But there are a couple things in this preset that I wanted to bring up. Many of these I just recently discovered. They've been pretty well known, I think, for a while among people who have actually looked into FNaF source code, but it was just brought to my attention just like mainly today and yesterday by some commenters and some people in my Discord who have been a great help, that there are some things that I should probably mention. First of all, I think that this is the best preset probably to talk about this. There's Bonnie, as you can see. Always be putting on the mask, of course, every time you put down the monitor. So one thing that I do want to talk about, here's Toy Bonnie. Go ahead and flash Foxy a few more times. There he is. Alright. So when the lights are flickering, because an animatronic is in the office, so this would be an office animatronic or Toy Bonnie, basically any animatronic that causes the office lights to flicker on and off and prevents you from being able to take off the mask, any animatronic that does that will actually pause Foxy's attack timer while they are doing it. So you actually cannot be attacked by Foxy at the same time that one of those animatronics is in the office causing the lights to flicker. So this is actually very helpful on presets like 1020, especially, and also Double Trouble, because whenever one of these animatronics is in the office, obviously, that's several seconds where you're not going to be able to do anything. But Foxy's attack timer actually does not decrease at all while the lights are flickering. Keep in mind, this is only while the lights are actually flickering, not while the animatronic is, while you have the Freddy mask on. So you can't just leave it on indefinitely, obviously, because Foxy will kill you then. But as long as the lights are currently flickering, then Foxy's attack timer is actually paused. So I didn't know that for a while, and I think it is a very helpful piece of information that goes a long way to explain why presets like Foxy, almost messed that up there. Thankfully, Toy Bonnie didn't come in. So it does go a long way, I think, to explain why presets like Foxy, for example, it seems like Foxy is the most aggressive that he's ever been, whereas presets like 1020, presets like 1020 and Double Trouble, you would think that he'd be, well, he wouldn't be as aggressive on Double Trouble, obviously, but on 1020 you'd think, okay, he's going to be as aggressive as Foxy, but it doesn't seem like he attacks you a whole bunch. That is because most of the time in 1020 that you have the monitor down, the lights are actually flickering because of an animatronic being in the office. So right now his attack timer's paused. Now it resumes. So, completely lost my train of thought there for a second. Sorry. I'm not feeling 100% today when it comes to recording videos. My brain's lagging a little bit, so I apologize for that. But yeah, anyway guys, so that goes a long way to explain, I think, why 1020 mode, it seems like Foxy's actually much more passive than he is on presets like Foxy, because there are no animatronics that cause the lights to flicker in that preset, Foxy, but on 1020, then a lot of the time the lights are going to be flickering, usually from a office animatronic. So Foxy's attack timer will not decrease at all during that time. So, like I said, I think that goes a long way to explain why Foxy seems to be so aggressive sometimes, which tends to confuse a lot of people. Alright, so line the music box up to here. Flash the hallway a couple times. Foxy's not there. Once again, you don't want to flash the hallway too much when Foxy isn't actually there, otherwise you'll start running a little low on flashlight battery. I'm not overly concerned on this preset about that, as opposed to something like Foxy, where obviously Foxy would be very aggressive a lot of the time, and I have to use the flashlight to keep him at bay constantly. We got a little bit of free time here. By the way, the reason that Toy Bonnie hasn't killed me when I've raised the monitor in his face like 3 times is I believe he actually functions differently than the other animatronics, and that he has a timer that decides when he wants to come out of the vent, and until that happens, then he actually cannot kill you. So, yeah, that's interesting. So if he just showed up in the vent, like you actually check this, and you just see him like pop in right there, because it'll suddenly switch to the image of him, then you should be able to raise the monitor and wind the music box, and you'll probably be fine. As far as I know, he can't kill you then. But if you do decide to wait a little bit, and he is there, then there's a chance that he'll pop in and kill you. So that number is random, as far as I know, so I would not recommend relying on this strategy, but it can get you out of a pinch in some situations. This is going to be a little bit rough, because the music box is running real low. But I think we'll be okay here. We'll wind it to a little over half. Okay, no one here. Good. Wind this to full. Perfect. So basically for this preset, all you really need is Foxy isn't that big of an issue. I really wouldn't worry about him that much. Just don't overthink him at all. Really just flash the hallway every now and then. You'll be fine. You have lots of dead time where... Whoop. Almost messed it up again. You have lots of dead time where the lights are flickering, so Foxy won't be nearly as aggressive as he normally is. And of course his AI is set to 5, so he wouldn't be nearly as aggressive as other presets anyway. So basically don't worry about Foxy a whole lot. This is one of the presets where I don't think Foxy's actually a big threat. You should be able to deal with Bonnie most of the time, assuming you have good reaction time. Just what we were talking about on previous nights is always be prepared. As soon as the image and the sound changes, then I'm prepared to immediately flick my mouse down and put on the mask as quickly as possible. So Bonnie forcing the camera monitor down never really catches me off guard, which I think is obviously very good. Pay attention to the vents. I wouldn't recommend raising the monitor in Toy Bunny's face 4 or 5 times like I have. I'm just cutting this a little bit close because I'm banking on his limits, basically, and I don't really want to play it safe right now. I just want to get through this as quickly as possible and make sure the music box doesn't run out. So I would not recommend doing that. I'd recommend actually taking a second to analyze what's actually in the vent before you make the decision to pull up the monitor and wind the music box. That is, of course, if the music box isn't, like, immediately about to run out and you actually have time to do that. Otherwise, then, you know, if it's red and you see Toy Bunny in here, just gamble it, just pull up the monitor and wind it. Not really much else you can do there. But basically, just don't play risky with Toy Bunny unless you absolutely have to. Should be hitting 6 a.m. any second here, guys. I think this is definitely one of the easier presets. Just need pretty fast reflexes and a little bit of good luck with Toy Bunny, and you should be completely fine. I would say that this preset is actually quite a bit easier than Foxy. So, hopefully, I was able to clear some things up for you guys. Music box is going to run real low here. I'm getting a little nervous. Okay, we're fine. So, yeah, hopefully I was able to clear some things up for you guys real quick about how Foxy works, about why it seems like he doesn't attack you sometimes, like he's not very aggressive, and then other times he's, like, just jumping at you out of the hallway, like, just so incredibly much. Even when his AI is set to 20 sometimes on, like, 1020, for example, he won't be super aggressive compared to something like Foxy, and I've seen that confuse a lot of people, so I definitely wanted to clear that up for you guys. So, there you go, 6 a.m. Congratulations, you beat another preset. That is 3 down and 7 to go. So, I'm not sure which one I'll be working on first. I'll probably do Ladies Night next, and then I'll take a look at either New and Shiny or 420. Those tend to be presets that some people will struggle with, but they are still fairly gimmicky. So I did want to talk about them pretty early as opposed to what I consider the more all-around difficult presets like Fazbear Fever, Freddy's Circus, and 1020 mode. So yeah, I did just want to get this one out of the way. It is fairly easy, but like I said, I also wanted to explain some of the mechanics regarding Foxy and the office animatronics because I actually did not notice until recently, and I thought it was a really great piece of information that you guys would want to hear that I think can really help on certain presets. So with that being said, thank you guys for watching this guide. I hope it helped you, and I'll see you in the next one.